China's Terracotta Warriors. So that's going to be our next project. And as you can see, we will be working with air dry clay. Go ahead and gather the tools that you were given, along with your sponge and a cup of water. The next step, you're going to go ahead and take the bag out of the box and cut yourself maybe like an inch thick slab. So we're not going to work smaller than 5 inches. Our warrior is not going to be any smaller than 5 inches. It could be up to 5 inches. I'm going to shoot for 5 inches, but if I end up making it a little bigger, that's okay. All right, the first thing is go ahead and find a pencil. Now, the pencil is gonna function as like our spine. It's gonna be what holds the whole warrior together. Here's an example of what we will be making. Okay, the first step is to go ahead and roll, I would say like a small potato size of clay, 2 inches tall, and insert the pencil down in the center, through the center. I'm going to go ahead and secure my clay on the pencil so that it doesn't slide out. Kind of looks like a popsicle with the tip of the pencil sticking out of the top. So that section is basically the body of your warrior. The next step is to go ahead and add the legs. Okay, so with one of your wooden tools, you're gonna go ahead and create an indentation, as you see me doing here, that separates the 2 legs. Then you're gonna go ahead and separate the top with the bottom. So do as you see me do here. Okay, I've got the beginning of my 2 legs. My warrior is wearing this like long coat. And so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little coil on the bottom edge to give it the illusion, and you'll see what it looks like. So I'm gonna wrap the coil around the bottom edge. And then I'm going to blend the top of my coil into the rest of the body, and you're gonna see the illusion that it creates. Now it looks like the coat is over something else underneath. So if you kind of see what the warrior looks like over on the left, the printout that I have there, you could see that it's a coat that's over like a long pant and then like a legging or a longer pant underneath that. All right, so right here, I've got the beginning of the top portion of my legs. I'm just cleaning it up a bit. I'm filling in any gaps that didn't make, that I wasn't able to fill in on the back side. Okay, now our next step is to create the legs. So from the bottom of the shorts down, the first thing you're gonna do is that you're gonna roll out another nice thick coil. But then you wanna roll it a little thinner on one side, so you're creating more of a cone, like a carrot. So see what I'm doing and follow along. Here I am dividing the 2 legs, making sure it is on well. I'm blending it into the rest of the leg so it doesn't come out. Right now I'm just smoothing it in, making sure that It's on well. And I'm going to do the same detailing on the back side. Okay, so now we have the body, the shorts or the pants underneath the coat, and the legs. Now we're going to move on to the base. So we actually have to place our warrior on a base so that it is able to stand. You're just basically going to roll a little ball, flatten it on the table, and then begin to tap the sides of it, creating a square or a rectangle. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to score, just like we would regular clay, the bottom of the legs with the base. Now that your figure is attached to the base, you're going to roll out a little ball, flatten it, cut it in half, and then that's going to be what would be the front portion of the warrior's feet. So you're just going to place that little arched shape in front of the leg and over the base as you give the illusion of a foot. Always check your craft to make sure that you are clean with your lines. All right. Now that we've got the body and the legs, we're going to go ahead and move on to the arms. Again, roll out a fairly thick coil. And then what I'm doing is I'm actually angling down so I create two pointed ends on the sides. You'll see they kind of taper down like a carrot. And then I flatten the top portion. And I'm going to score on the top of the body where the arms would be attached. Score on my coil. Add a little bit of water. And then attach the arm. Perfect. So now you've got the upper body of your soldier or your warrior. Now we're going to move on to the hands. So again, you're going to draw a line, suggesting that that's where the coat ends. And then the bottom part of that coil could then be shaped into a simplified form of the hand. So watch what I do. I just pinch and form and bend at the tip. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add the soldier's head. So go ahead and roll out a ball that you feel looks proportionate with the rest of the body. And then you're gonna form it into kind of like an egg shape or an almond. And then you're gonna stick the tip of the pencil through and then blend so that the clay thinks that it's all one. I am rolling out a thin coil and I'm positioning it in the center of my head because I want to give the illusion of a nose. Here I'm defining the jawline with my wooden modeling tool. My head needed more of a chin, so I went ahead and I added a little bit, tiny coil to give it a little bit more form. Now we're going to move on to the details of the shoulder and the neck. Just like if you're making a long coil and you're basically going to wrap the coil around the neck like it's a scarf. So you start from there and you wrap it around and then down. Next, you're going to make those like shoulder pads. So again, just like we made our base, we're going to flatten a little ball of clay and then use our table to tap our sides into shape. So here I've got more of a rectangle. I'm going to cut that rectangle in half. And now these serve as my shoulder pads. Make sure that you score them on, if not they will fall off. Please make sure that you always revisit your work and that you clean up your lines and you provide the best, cleanest craftsmanship you can. Okay, so now I've got my shoulder pads, I've got my little wraparound scarf looking thing. I'm gonna go ahead and give my warrior hair. So again, we're gonna start out with another coil. You're going to wrap it around the top of his head, and then you're going to blend the top portion together. So now it looks like he's got like a beret on. But instead, we are going to roll a little ball, suggesting that he actually has long hair and he's wearing it up in a bun. So this clay works very similar to real clay in the sense that it dries if it sits out, and you smooth using water and your sponge. So here I'm blending in that edge of my coil in with the rest of the coat so that it kind of gives the illusion that the coat is overlapped. I am going in and I'm creating some pattern for some surface detail. You can go ahead and play and create your own detailing on your warrior's coat. As we learned, each one of them were individual. None of them were exactly alike. So this is where you can be creative and sculpt your warrior's armor the way that you envision. And there you go.